Hi, everyone. I'm Jody Schwan, the owner and publisher of Sioux Falls Business. Welcome to another edition of Talent Thursday. We are joined, of course, by our friends at the Sioux Falls Development Foundation, Denise Gazzetta, who leads talent development and workforce development for the foundation, coming off a busy week of the Summit League tournament. So hopefully you saw that story over on Sioux Falls Business today. Great event there, which means now we're back to our Talent Thursday conversations where we introduce you to talent and those working with talent across our region. And Denise has a great guest for us today. So why don't you go ahead and introduce her, and congratulations again on the Summit League. Such a good event, reaching so many potential workers.
Oh, it was incredible. And, I said earlier today, since I worked full time when I was in college, I had a great opportunity with the Central Intelligence Agency. It was wonderful to kind of experience that. I had never been to a tailgate, so had no idea what it was like. It was fun, crazy, chaotic, everything, all of that. But today we're meeting Maddy Roberts. So it's been interesting. It was a call that started this week where I just knew we just had to bump this person right into this slot for today, because we're thinking about how do we get more people interested in plumbing and HVAC, and how do we look at some of the different dimensions and dynamics that are going on within our community. We have a lot of women and a lot of people that could be really poised for going into this type of work, but we really don't do a lot of things to cultivate that, right? So that's why we're here today, because Maddy works for Midwestern Mechanical, Inc., and she is fantastic. So.
And all I know, Maddy, is when you need a plumber, you need a plumber. So, I mean,
yes, absolutely.
Workforce needs, this is like mission critical stuff right here.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely, I don't think anybody really realizes how critical plumbing is to the community. They always have a stereotype of plumbers just do kitchen sinks, or, the stereotypical, but it really isn't. I mean, it goes deep into public safety and making sure our community stays healthy. And I think that's what we're trying to do at Midwestern Mechanical, is break that stigma with that it's just stereotypical plumber. It's really not. I mean, it's a lot of commercial and it's a lot of doing residential services, but a lot of commercial buildings from start to finish, and just breaking that stereotypical. And like Denise said, with women, I mean, being in this recruiting role, I think, is very helpful for Midwestern Mechanical. So it allows women to see that they can work in a construction industry. So I'm hoping that will break the stigma and break the walls down, and hope that women will come and join this workforce for sure.
For sure. So your role, I think, involves a little bit of HR, a little bit of marketing, probably a little bit of overall operational things. How did you become connected to Midwestern Mechanical?
I previously was here in 2017 as an admin assistant, and then I went to pursue, after I graduated with my associate's degree, I went to pursue my HR career. And then I saw an HR generalist position come open, so I decided to come back, and it's been great ever since. They have developed me into now marketing, wellness, and HR. So I'm kind of diving into a little bit of everything, but it's been pretty hands-on in such a fast pace with the market that we are in today. And I kind of got in here and went running with recruiting and kind of developing and strategizing for marketing. So it's been really great. And we've been using more platforms for social media and getting our name out there. So that's kind of what our big focus is right now, is just getting our name out there and knowing what we do and how we do it.
I want to talk a bit about your career path, and I'm sure Denise will have things to weigh in on here too, because I love that you got that associate's degree, you got that work experience, and then you went back for the bachelor's when you probably had a little better idea of what you really wanted to do and how you wanted to invest in your education.
Yeah, that's definitely when I got my associate's degree. It was mainly just to have a degree, and I went for HR, not really knowing what I was going to do with it, or even if I was going to stay in HR. And then when I first started back here in HR, I was like, this is what I really need to do. I need to go back and get my bachelor's degree, help me out. And that also will help me out on the guard side as well. So that's really why I'm going back for my bachelor's degree. But also the management piece will help me out in HR, and learning hands-on is something that I think overpowers any degree, really, when you're hands-on and getting that experience.
That's right. I want to mention your military experience as well, right?
Yes. Yep. I've been in for about 6.5 years.
Wow. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
As we hear from Maddy, you and I talk to students all the time who maybe aren't sure coming out of high school what they should do. And what a case here for getting that 2-year degree, getting that work experience, and then figuring the rest of it out.
So there was a couple things when Maddie and I first got on the phone over this past week. I just knew immediately because not only, and thank you, Maddie, for your service, because I do think it is such an honor and you're doing so much. But one of the things that really kind of was crystallizing in my brain is here's somebody that has, this really love of learning, getting the experience, making sure that you're always getting better. I mean, we talk about this, and even with our WIN Summit, we talked a lot about with Chad Greenway and his message to young people today. Always make sure that you're feeding your brain. And so that's what just came to mind. And all the things. And then I started asking her all these things about plumbing and HVAC systems, because we're getting into a lot of this stuff with our Your Future STEM. So it's very real to me. But I just thought, this is a conversation that we just need to have. So
yeah. And the biggest thing I like to say, kind of piggyback off Jody, is getting the experience. You can get that here hands-on and also learn. So we have an apprenticeship program that allows all of our new employees, HVAC, plumbing, and fire protection, to start as apprentice first year and move up within 4 years and test out for their journeyman. And they're getting the hands-on experience as they're doing it. So you're really earning while you're learning. And if I could go back in time, I would probably do that. I would go back and get my degree, but also learn as I'm doing it and work hands-on. So I just think that is another thing that makes us stand out as well, is that we do have that apprenticeship program and we are providing them the education, but they're learning hands-on as well.
And if I can add, that's a permanent shift that we're seeing. We're seeing the shift where it's no longer all theoretical. When I was first going to school, I was sort of the outlier with working full-time and having this wonderful experience and going to school. That's becoming the norm. And that's
The
where
norm.
I'm so excited for WIN and in 2022, because we're going to be talking about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Really, that's why, Maddie, the conversation with you, it's just, again, all these things that we're seeing that are kind of out there and their trends, permanent shifts.
Yeah.
So cool. So
yeah, it is really nice. I didn't really know much about the apprenticeship position before I was here as an admin. I didn't really dive into it, but now that I'm hands-on recruiting, I mean, we touch base on that. And the minute we say to a high school student that you're going to earn while you're getting your education, their eyes just like light up, like it's the best thing in the world. So that really makes everything worth it when we touch those students that don't really know what they want to do, but also give them the option that they're going to get an education, but you're also going to be able to make money as well. And obviously that's a driver for everybody.
I want to talk misconceptions a little bit, and you touched on this very early, but what are some of the things that you believe are keeping people from entering your industry, and specifically women, but I think it's probably both men and women to a certain extent?
Yeah, for sure. I would say the biggest thing is the stereotypical plumber. Nobody wants to be in somebody's sink or up somebody's sink looking for something or looking for a clogged sink. So I think that's the biggest thing, that our barrier. And probably just out in the cold and the heat, I think that's a huge barrier as well. I know probably every construction industry can say the same thing, is finding people that want to be in the cold weather and when it's hot outside. I mean, that's hard as well. And it's a lot of manual labor, and that's people don't like that. Some people just really, really, truly don't want to do hard work. And that's our biggest barrier. And that's where we try to come in with the apprenticeship and the wellness incentives that we provide to give people like, hey, we have other options and we're trying to help you out with how hard of work that we actually do. And on the women's side, I think it's mainly just because it's not normal. It's not really normal for a woman to be a plumber. But that's another thing that we are trying to break in, the stigma that it is open to anybody and everybody, and anybody can do it. A woman could do it just as good as a man could do it.
And financially, these are great careers.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely good. I mean, especially when you earn the first, second, third, fourth year, and then that journeyman, I mean, you are making very, very good money. It's going to pay off. All the hard work and that you do from the first to the fourth year is going to pay off the minute you take that journeyman license test.
in a lot of ways, though, too, you have a lot of control because you're in a very good area where
Yep.
we just can't have enough people because we're
Yeah.
always with demand, always
Yep.
increasing. And then you have this ability as you're learning, you're getting all of the technical and
Yeah.
theoretical paired with the practical. So it's just
Yep.
a perfect situation.
Yeah, it is. It truly is.
And I think just the awareness too, and doing some of these simple things like what we do at Your Future STEM
Yeah.
with a lot of, different people and just showing how fun some of the stuff is. Because I can tell you, I had to take apart my sink one time because we couldn't get, and we had twins. It was
Yep.
crazy. My mother had
Yeah.
put something in the disposal.
Mhm.
Oh, I was so happy to have a plumber come to my house
Yeah.
on Christmas
Yep.
Eve. So,
And it's not only just plumbing too. We do HVAC
Right.
and fire protection. So HVAC, I like to say, like, do you like your house heat and cold? Because that's what we do as well. And the fire protection is just overall safety to everybody. Every company that we do, it's overall safety for them and their employees when we come in and do the plumbing and the heating and the cooling and also the fire. I mean, it's all about public safety and providing that. And I don't think people look at the big picture like that. It's just the day-to-day tasks that they're like, oh, well, who wants to be a plumber? You know what I mean?
Right, right. How would you describe the culture of Midwestern Mechanical? What's it like to work there?
I would say this is probably the most family-oriented position that I have ever been in. I mean, everybody from the president to the vice president to the CFO, they all treat you like you're the same. I have never met somebody that I could just go up and have a conversation with the president of the company or the vice president and just act like we've known each other forever when I've only really been here for 6 months. So that is probably the biggest thing the reason why I came back to Midwestern and chose this over any other career path is because of how family oriented it is.
That's great to hear. And that's so when workers have so many choices today.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I want to give you a plug for your hiring. I'm sure you're hiring.
Yes.
So, if someone is watching this, maybe it's a student, maybe it's a parent, wondering, okay, you've piqued my interest. Now what? How do I start? Where do I go to learn? Can I just apply right away? How does this work?
Yep. So you can go onto our website. It's just midwesternmechanical.com. You can give me a phone call and I can give you my number. It's 605-444-9252. And that's my direct line. So I will get that voicemail or the applications come straight to my email. So yes, if this sparked your interest, we are hiring for all positions, plumbing, HVAC, fire protection, and we are willing to do whatever to train you and give you the tools necessary for you to be successful, because that's truly what we want.
And that's what we want too. We want people to be in jobs that they enjoy, with employers that are going to come alongside and support them, which is wonderful. So
Absolutely.
And you are a Sioux Falls company, right? I'm sure you do business in the city and the surrounding area. Before we go, what do you like about Sioux Falls itself as a place to live? You're going to USD now, so I'm not maybe do a little bit of commute, not sure, but what do you think about it?
I love Sioux Falls. I'm originally from Baltic, so I have always lived around this area. I just can't seem to find myself anywhere else. I mean, it's always just the community feeling. I think how involved the community is something that will always drive me to stay around the Sioux Falls area. And I could never see myself. I have a 3.5-year-old, so I could never see raising her anywhere else besides Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Great to hear. Okay, Denise, any closing thoughts before we let Maddy get back to work?
No, I just thank you guys, because when this week, this conversation, and I thought this is perfect because we're coming right off of construction week, right? And so, and the home builders and all the wonderful things that we're seeing so much growth in our area. And so it's just nice to meet, again, all these wonderful companies that will come alongside people and really help them. And so and thank you for doing that. So
yes, thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we cover those building projects all day long, every single week. They don't get done unless your industry is right there with them making it happen. So again, great to meet you. Good luck with your own career path. It will be fun to continue to follow up with that as well as all those new people you're trying to hire. So if you are intrigued by what you've heard today, Maddy did provide her contact information. If you are a business and you just want to get connected and tell your story more and connect to the resources that Denise and the team at the Development Foundation offer, do reach out to Denise. You can message them here through Facebook. She's DeniseG@SiouxFalls.com. Go on over, check out what they did during the Summit League. You'll find that at SiouxFalls.business. We've got more great stories coming with them here too in the weeks ahead. And of course, next week, right? I think the plan is we're gonna be back with another edition of Talent Thursday. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Have a great weekend, and we will be back with you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.